Hey, what's up everyone? It's New. Welcome back. Today I'm with my good friend Faustus, not for the currency exchange, but for the black market. And I'm going to be spending some of that gold that I earned in the last 100 maps farming session. 27 million gold. It was definitely a lucrative one, and it was for the gold as well. And that's what I want to do today is just present a video and show you how I go about liquidating my own gold for currency. Now you can, do ships and run mappers and stuff. The ship's definitely worth doing if you set up your Calgear base. But the mappers I don't really think are, because that's a lot of hard work and a lot of micromanaging. And honestly, I don't think it's all that much currency compared to what the idols can get you. If you know the market for the idols, great. I think the totemic idols have quite a robust market, especially with that 12% increase effect of explicits. But as well as several other things like possessed rogue exiles, stuff like that. But today, we're going to be looking at conquer idols. So this is the one the market's most well known on. I just mentioned totemic idols because you might want to diversify what you're trying to roll. And the market's going to shift depending on how many people are purchasing one idol versus another. Conquer idols definitely quite flooded in the market, but there's so many different strategies that they can be good for. A lot of strats, even ones that have fairly cheap idols, still be worth a divine or two if you combine just two modifiers. And so to that end, I want to announce that I have a very nice little sheet that you can copy paste from, and that's going to be linked in the description of the video, and it will be updated in the event that anybody suggests something else ought to be added, because I most certainly do not have every single possible combination there. So if you're aware of a particular combination that you don't see on there, especially if a 2-mod combination is worth at least a couple divines, please let me know in the comments below and I will update it for you, and I appreciate you on that ahead of time. Now, this idol screen that you see here, you only get this if you've set up Calgear and you've unlocked Faustus and then you've ranked up at least one time. And you will be able to purchase idols for these particular gold prices. The Conquer idol obviously costs a little bit more than the others. And I'm just going to purchase them constantly like this. I'm going to turn around. I'm just going to throw them in a dump tab here. I'm not even going to look at them yet. It's going to be a lot easier to use the search functionality with some of these lines of text that I'm going to be trying to look at and combine them. I'm going to put all of these in dump tabs A, B, and C. And then dump tab D is a few left over for things that are going to be potentially useful to combine at some point, but not yet necessarily just to sell. And then dump tab E will be the finished idols. And this will no doubt be, this will not be enough space for 27 million. So I'll have to kind of break things down as we go, but I will highlight different things as I hit anything big, or at least the first round of things. I'll show you kind of the full snapshot of everything I'm doing. All right, so this is the full list of things that I have right now. And again, this list will probably be bigger if you take a look at the description of the video, especially well after the fact, because I have no doubt somebody's going to come up with an intelligent addition that should be added on there. At the top line, we have juice. This will be percent map quality. So that's the 3 to 5% explicit modifier per 5% map quality. And then down below that, it's pairing with the 2 to 3% explicit per explicit modifier. Of course, these two together are worth a couple dozen divine orbs, and in some cases I'll probably be slamming those. But even just by themselves, I'm going to be on the lookout for that, so I'm going to definitely check these lines and singles. Because scarabs found are less common varieties. This one's gone down in value a little bit since I added this, so I think for now I will still kind of look for it, at least in combination. And then my personal favorite, the Eater of World Altar one, will be in here. I really only care about this if it's a very high roll, like 33, 34, 35%. And then we have the infamous Rogue Exile one. Additional Rogue Exiles worth something like 5, 6, 7 divines at the very bottom, and even if with a bad roll range by itself on a rare idol, it's worth a lot. I should mention that these modifiers will be worth extra on magic idols. And so if I get an idol that's basically worth 2, 3, 4 divines, I'm not really going to craft on it. I'll probably just try to sell it as is. Maybe, depending. We'll see. I'll play it by ear. And then we got some ambush ones. Corrupt, rare. I actually think corrupt is a bit of a trap. People don't realize that it doesn't really have any benefit. But I still try to combine corrupt, rare because it does add value to it for whatever reason. To be openable again, roll range is 5 to 9. The roll range matters quite a bit there, but you can kind of slam some into 2 additional strong boxes if you want. To be openable again, of course, I will be trying to pair that up with some of the explicit mods instead. Then we have a couple of harvest ones, if paired together, are worth a little bit. A couple of ritual ones, if paired together, are worth quite a bit. Essence, I think, gone down in value some. These used to be, Harbinger and Essence used to be about 2 divines apiece if you simply paired these together. Maybe not quite as much now. But at any rate, I will still look into that. And then a couple of bestiary ones, which are pretty solid together. Abyss has 3, actually potentially 4 if you count the 5 or 6 explicit modifier Abyss Jewel one, but I'm just going to be looking at these 3. And then we have Heist 4, which was what I started the event with fully revealed. I did go back and double check that, and yes, indeed, they're still worth a little bit extra if you combine these 2 together. Alright, so we're not going to look at these things yet, but first I'm going to buy all the different idols I can, and then we'll get started. Wow, okay. That was a lot of left clicking, but it's done now. 3 full dump tabs filled. And it looks like, given that I spent about 17 million, I will have maybe 1 more quad tab. So probably a total of 4 quad tabs I will be able to purchase, because I'm going to need some gold left over to do the recombinations. And yes, I do have some dust. I found 19 tier 0s a while back. They just dusted almost all of them, so got plenty of dust to spare. And we'll make our way over to the Kalgur city in a little bit, but first, it can be kind of a daunting task to micromanage all these different idols and figuring out, you know, what is worth anything. You know, obviously to the uninitiated, you might just try to eyeball all of these and try to somehow keep track of everything that's going on. That's kind of an impossible task. So you're going to really want to use some cheats, so to speak. And what I'm going to do first, I'm going to look for the most important roles, or the most valuable roles, at least by themselves, especially if they're good at roll range. And this is for the, I'm searching specifically right now for 5% map quality per quality. And in some cases, I might already pair up 2 of them. And wow, I thought that said scarab. That would have been insane if that said scarab. Yeah, we got... Wow, we got Strongbox openable again paired with it. Hitting some double whammies here right off the bat, which is really kind of crazy. More than anything is I'm just looking for some perfectly rolled quality ones. I suppose any of them is fine, but you know, ones like this, let me check the app here to see if I got anything of any real value. Kind of already do with that one set up. I think, you know, this one right here is already worth about 5 div, so that kind of does cross the threshold. I may do something different with it later on. We'll see. It wouldn't be a bad idea to try to slam a 5% into that, but I don't know. We'll see. Now, this is a bad roll range. This would have been incredibly valuable, being isolated as a potential recombinated craft. This is what I really want to see. Like, I really want to see one that's just its own modifier by itself. Because trust me, as somebody who took a couple days to recombinate my own idols, I know how valuable those are. But at any rate, I'm basically just going to take all of these in here, and I'm just going to put them over there. Except, you know what? I will go ahead and... No, sorry. Changing my mind mid-mind here. If the item I know for sure is finished, then I will put it in the last one. And I may back out of this, but for now, I need to find that one that had the openable. Yeah, here we go, this one. Alright, so that is 8. Yeah, 5, and let's see what this is worth. Yeah, this is already worth about 12 divines or so probably go ahead and leave that one over there. In the end, I will add up everything into dump E, the finished ones, and then take it times like maybe 80% to try to get a more realistic value of how much currency I actually made. And we'll also try to keep track of time, so to speak, to see if to what extent this is actually worth messing with. Because, you know, you might just be better off just farming currency instead of even spending the gold, potentially. I don't think so, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Nice, we got one magic one. It's not isolated with a single mob, but at least just being magic means it's more valuable. In fact, I should probably check its value as magic just to see. I think I'll go ahead and show you this. I went in and populated the idol. What I need to do now is make it magic. And, you know, I could even do something like this, or say have an empty suffix. Let's see what this modifier is worth with an empty suffix. You can see it's that looks like a placeholder that it's arguably worth, well, around 8 divines just by itself. But mine does have a garbage suffix paired, and then its value goes down pretty significantly. But it is still magic, so I'm able to kind of check that. We can see that these first few ones probably aren't really accurate. It looks like 4 divines might be a little bit more, 3 or 4 divines might be a little bit more accurate. And so we could potentially call that finished, but I will probably attempt to recombinate that one together. All right, next up, we're going to check the explicits per explicit modifier. And of course, I want to see a 3% on a magic one is what I really want to see. But, well, 3% more than anything else. And I'm kind of eyeballing this at the same time in case I see some crazy pairing as well. I don't seem to see anything as of yet. How is that? I had 18 of these and not a single one of them was magic. Next up, we'll check a big one, Rogue Exiles, which I don't have any paired there, but we got a couple here. Ooh, nice. Oh my god. Those roll range may not be crazy, but that is actually, and I believe that's an S tier magic one. It's already set up nicely. That suffix is really valuable. I can't wait to see what that one's worth. It is definitely finished. I mean, even with almost no rate. Wow, strong boxes reopen with that too. I don't think that really matters, but it's kind of crazy. Actually, quite a few Rogue Exile ones. The Scarab, less common varieties. I want to look at that one. This one is annoying because the app can't populate it. I have to go in and manually search by just typing in additional Rogue Exiles. Yeah, this one definitely a little bit of added value, I think. We'll call that one done. I think in the case of the Rogue Exile ones, they're probably just going to call them all finished. All right, next up will be Strongbox Reopenable. And I actually can't really make this a short version without having Blight chest reopenable as part of the search function. So I have to kind of manually look at it. Oh, here we go. Get a 9% reopenable. Wow. 2 strong boxes with strong box reopenable. And 2 harbingers even. Okay, so those are all the really good ones. The double explicits, the Eater of Worlds, if it's high roll, the Rogue Exiles, additional Rogue Exiles, the reopenable strong boxes, and then after that, everything kind of falls off pretty hard unless it is already paired up with something. So what I like to do next, you know, for some people who want to try to make quick work of this, you might just do that one quick pass and then say that's all you want to do. That's all you want to look forward. But I think it would be smart to kind of try and go ahead and do double searches. And this is where I think the copy paste will come in handy here. So I can check 2 different lines of text at once and try and see if I hit anything. This is checking for strongbox rare as well as 2 additional strong boxes. And then I could do 2 additional strong boxes with corrupt, which again I think is actually a bit of a meme, but you know, people are gonna think it's valuable, so okay. Corrupt rare is not present either. Okay, and next up I got harvest. This is both of the harvest mods together at the same time. I got 0 of those. How about reroll favors and 4 rituals? Together already on an idol? Nope. It's a little bit rare to have the combo already in place. Nope, nothing for essence. It doesn't take hardly any time to check this, and if I do have any of these, they're going to be worth a little bit. Oh, we do have a Harbinger 1 here, so this is 2 additional Harbingers combined with currency. Shrines in your maps grant additional shrine effect, might also be a nice pairing as well. So this is worth minimum 1 divine. And I can't really check for the additional shrine if that's valuable, but I suspect it might be a little bit of value there. Kind of an unusual hit. Anybody who's planning a shrine-based build would probably like to see that one. Now we got beasts. Yellow beast as well as beast less common varieties. Yellow beast into red is what that is. Nothing showed up there. Now I got Abyss. Now I got 3 lines for Abyss, so I can't check them all at once, but I can kind of do partial checks here. Wow. I think I got a little unlucky on some of these double ups. Let's check Heist, fully revealed, and then additional Smuggler's Cash. No. Okay. Alright, so we got a lot left over, but we're not done. I will go ahead and the next step, which would be, I guess, tier 3 of the checks, which is, I think, something that a lot of you probably won't want to mess with, would be an attempt to recombinate together the pairings for the specific ones. This will require a lot of checking, however. And so for this, for example, I will just check for 2 additional strong boxes by itself. And here you go. We got a few here. I'm not really even going to look at them, because I know it can't be any sort of insane combo, because I already checked of everything that might have been insane. That one's out of the way. I'll check strong box rare. Okay, a few of these. Again, what I'm checking right now is definitely not going to be of any real value by itself. We're going to have to do some recombinating. I'll go for the meme later, I guess, with rare strong box. We'll see. I'll compare. Like, I'll look at 2 additional strong boxes and strong box rare versus strong box rare and corrupted. I'll just check the cost of those. And so all I'm really trying to do right here is just remove any of the idols from A, B, C that would really have any chance whatsoever of being useful. And so when that's done, we're going to 3-to-1 them, both magic and rare. Always 4 ritual altars. And again, dump E, this is totally done. Likely to be totally done. Dump D is still going to need a little bit of work. And I think it's actually worth it. If I already have it, now maybe it's not really worth it to go out of my way to buy it. But if I already have it, should probably... I'll just go ahead and attempt to recombinate, like the double explicit rolls, for example. You can see I can make pretty quick work of this. Don't even have to even look at it. I mean, that's nice, right? I mean, that's the whole point of trying to expedite it. Yeah, so since I just ran out of room to dump tabs, I'm actually going to go ahead and go to the Recombinator and attempt to recombinate Abyss-themed idols together. And I tend to try and combine low roll ranges with low roll ranges, if that makes sense. I think the spawned additional rares is not actually the really valuable one here. I'm going to put these 2 together. See what we get. Nope. Missed. Oh. That one's dead. Alright, that's a dead idol now. Here we go. We doubled up Abyss this time. Let's take a quick look at this. Kind of low roll ranges. Wow, 7 divines. That was easy. Look how easy that was to make 7 divines. Almost nothing. I bet most of you would not even think to look at Abyss as a possible recombination. The lowest one, there's only 7 on the list, and the lowest one with these 2 mods together is worth 7 divines. That's what the app says. So I assume it's true. In fact, this is not even the right roll range. Not technically, but yeah, I mean that's certainly a finished idol now. That's a beauty right there. But the Abyss mod by itself, not worth anything. Try to combine perfectly rolled blueprint idols. No, it's gone. I did have a lot of 14 in percentages though. Okay, we got a combo almost perfectly rolled. Double blueprints. 7 divines. Boom. Call that finished. All right, we're already off to a pretty good start. And now I'm going to go back in and dump D. And we're going to look, I think I'll kind of reverse engineer what I was doing here. We'll take a look at bestiary first. All right. Let's see. Did we get anything? We got this one. I haven't looked at this one in a while. Harbinger together. Yeah, about 1.5 div. All right, we hit on the very first one. This one's really gone down in value. It's like less than a divine now. Oh, I got ritual re-rolling favors. Let me double check these. Re-rolling 2 favors, I think is actually worth a lot. It's not gonna. Yeah, I think it's probably gonna beat some of these poorly rolled explicit ones. Let's give it a whirl. Hard to combine. 7 divines is what that was worth with 2 rerolls. Actually, it doesn't matter so much if it's 1 reroll or 2. Still worth a lot. Five divines with 1 reroll, so yeah, unfortunately, burn through all of those didn't hit. I had a pretty good opportunity. I mean, almost always going to hit at least one of those in that many attempts, but didn't that time. Okay, unfortunate. All right, duplicated monster. Oh, I should have checked the roll ranges before I slammed those. That was stupid. Still 5 divine. Yeah, that was really dumb. I threw away like 20 divines by not checking the roll range, so don't make the same mistake I did. I had a perfectly spawned duplicated monster roll, and I should have paired it with a perfectly rolled life force dupe because that one's actually a lot easier to hit. The harvest monster dupe roll is a much rarer modifier, so there's no excuse for what I just did there. That was just an outright mistake. Now here's a different one. Is double harvest, but it's like I don't think anybody cares that much about this one. Yeah, it's not worth much. But at least this one is still worth like 10 divines instead of like 25 divines if it had been perfect. But okay, not terrible. I'm gonna check Corrupt Rare Strongbox. And then versus rare and +2 strong box. No sense to me. Corrupt and rare strong box on one idol is worth 7 divines. And again, I remind everybody, there's no that is an upside downside pairing. It doesn't make sense to me. It's definitely an oversight on the devs to split those. Strong boxes are corrupt has no weighting at all. Like it's no bearing. It's not like it double corrupts the strong box or anything. Okay. Well, perhaps a little harder to hit because it's 2 suffixes, but yeah, I'm gonna go for the corrupt rare strongbox. I mean, I don't know. Well, the market decides, I guess. So we'll do that. Hey, with Einar. Nobody's gonna want that. Oh, that's funny. Okay, well, 7 divines. Whatever you say, market. Whatever you say. Strong boxes in your maps are at least rare, isolated by itself. Let me look at this. This might actually be worth just keeping. Yeah. No reason to slam this. It's already worth 2 or 3 div. Okay. We're getting back up to the really expensive ones. The Anarchy, I don't think I'm going to mess with any of those. And I believe if you do recombinate the Rogue Exile one, you probably do 4 addition or 4 rituals. So that would have been a good idea. I ran out of those already though. And or % explicit per explicit modifier. Because that's what people are doing on 8 mod corrupted maps in tier 16. That's what they're doing Rogue Exiles on, so that's the most sensible pairing with the prefixes. It's never a bad idea to try and recombinate both explicit mods together. That's some serious value. And let's go ahead and do that. We're going to work on the perfect ones first. This is probably the highest stakes recombination that I'm going to do. So I'm going to look for specifically the well-rolled ones. Like, do I even have any? Oh my god. Ooh. Okay, let's see what we can do. Probably smart to make sure I'm not accidentally doubling up on any of the other mods. Ooh, both gone. Damn. Get wrecked. Yeah, you're gonna see that a lot. Oh, snap. We got it. Wow, with double... Oh no, with actually Huck reopening, or Huck accompanying you might be worth a little bit on the side. I haven't looked at this in a while. Let's see what it's worth. Okay, it's the same as it was before. 20 something div. Yeah, you know what? I think Huck might actually have a little bit of value here. Or slaying enemies might not be bad. I bet this is actually worth a little bit more than just the default prefixes. Because both of these suffixes could conceivably be useful for a farm. Now, in the event that I'm just kind of left over with a bunch of rare explicit ones that are well rolled, usually it's not a bad idea to combine them with either Rogue Exiles or Strongbox Reopenable would be a really smart one here, just to get that started. And we can get a lot of extra value that way, so I think that's what I'll be doing, at least the well-rolled ambush ones. Alright, see if we can hit. No! Dang, I lost the perfect reopenable roll. Getting wrecked. Super wrecked. Oh my goodness. It ripped off the reopenable strongbox one every single time. Literally every single time. That's pretty annoying. Well, okay, the good news is that I Saved a few of the 3% explicit ones, I guess. Actually, I will go ahead and blow one of these on it. Seem to be smart enough. Let's see, actually, I'll save that one for another reopenable chance. Okay. We'll go ahead and keep these down here. For next round, we got one more round to do. I'm still sitting at 10 million gold. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is combine the low roll range ones. These still have some value, even if they're not perfectly rolled. We'll figure. Probably hit these all day long. It's still worth 3 or 4 div. Yep. These here are still worth 3 or 4 divines. Lowest roll range. Still 2 or 3 divines. That's such easy money. I feel like there are no stakes whatsoever there. But okay. Oh, I forgot about the Eater World one. I made a little bit of a mistake. I should have combined some of the 3% explicit ones with Eater of the World. Although okay, I didn't even have a perfectly rolled one, so maybe not. All right, now I've kind of just gone ahead and cleaned up everything, and this is what I have so far, but we're not done yet. It's time to not purchase some more idols, but rather do a bunch of 3-to-1ing. So it's gonna be time to do some 3-to-1. Y'all love doing that, I'm sure. And we're gonna start with the magic ones. So basically any magic one, and I might want to look over these a little bit just like that. Yeah, I should probably save that one. Not sure why it was sitting there. Then we'll go to Faustus and we can just sell them 3-to-1. Unfortunately, this is the part that actually gets really time consuming. This is kind of the part that is not so fun. Usually I go ahead and read them, just see in case I got anything good. It is in a way a little bit exciting to do the magic ones because, if you hit something, you could get a super valuable one doing this. Like if I hit Rogue Exiles by itself, it'd be pretty crazy. What? At least I'll hold this for a second. What in the world? Perfectly rolled timeless emblem? How does anybody do that? Yeah. That is worth about 1 divine. Never know. It's not really something I check. I'm not checking for anything Legion based. Maybe there's a good Legion one. You guys can let me know. Scarabs. Yeah, that by itself is a little bit valuable. Okay, now the rest is just rare, and I'm not going to read these. I'm actually just going to throw them straight back in the dump tab, and then I'll purchase more. Sometimes this happens where there's like, so it's basically the same name. These 2 idols have the same name or very similar name. so it thinks it's mirrored or whatever. I actually just throw them back in this way. We'll ID them all at once, just so I don't have to really think about it and don't accidentally grab the same one over again. All right, so I now have all these here, and of course we need to go through and ID them all. Then I'm gonna go ahead and spend about another 9 million gold purchasing some more idols off of Faustus, and then we'll do one last check around, and that'll be it. And I'll let you know what I got in the very end. Maybe include some of the bigger hits if we have any. And of course we'll get the final tally at the very end. Alright, that was quite a process, but we got it done. I spent about 2 hours of actually purchasing, enrolling, recombinating these. Definitely took a bit of extra time to process everything. I wrote things nice and pretty. So here's the result. All of these here in this dump tab are extra valuable, okay? And most of them, or at least half of them, involved recombinating something. And some of these you might feel aren't worth it, but some, I'm sure you will agree, are most definitely worth it. So we're going to start with all the rogue exile ones. I'm going to go through one by one each idol and just very quickly, briefly, just kind of say what it is and what it's worth, okay? 16 divines for explicit mod plus rogue exiles. For this one, 8 divines for just rogue exiles, mid-roll. We got about 70 divines. This one was the hardest one to tell because it's magic. And it's 2 very valuable mods together. It's as low as 30, as high as 110. So I'm just going to split the difference here. 70 divines. And because it's magic, it's recombinate ready for a really good opportunity to get a 4-modded perfect idol. Well, not with the perfect roll ranges, but you get the idea. And we have another magic one, but only 1 modifier is good here. And this is about 12 divines. 24 divines for a very high roll rogue exiles, 5 divines for a lower roll, another 24 divines for a high roll, and then we got about 8 divines for mid roll, 5 divines for low, 30 divines for a high roll rogue exiles. I think it's, nope, wait a minute, might have misplaced where I'm going. Hold on, alright, 16, 8, 70, 12, 24, 5, 24, looks right, 8, 5. I think I just skipped this one. I think I just forgot about this one. Sorry, I figured that might happen. Yeah, 24 divines for a high roll again. About 8 divines for mid roll. And 1 divine for a double abyss, but it's not particularly good because it needs to be 4 pits, not 3. Then we have a real big one here. We got 40 divines for a high double explicit plus Huck or beyond. You could look at it either way, which I think would actually be pretty good. And then we have, I guess, an even more valuable one. Didn't really realize this, but Shrine, this was an accident, by the way. Trying to slam together the double explicit perfect rolls. And then Shrine, random Shrine, because I guess there's Shrine builds maybe, is actually really, really good too, around 70 divines. I saw a little bit of evidence of that being the case. Then we have, unfortunately, not high roll with Scarab variety. And this one's about 23 divines because it's not great rolls. On the explicits, we got kind of some lower roll explicits coming here. 12 divines here. Let's see, we got about 3 divines for 3 double explicits in a row with very low rolls. Then we got 30 divines for double explicits with 4 rituals, and one of them being a good roll. Then we got 11 divines for explicit plus reopen chance on strongbox. Alright, then we got 7 divines in a row. Oops, sorry. That's double for explicit strong, but I think I actually just skipped this one as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just totally skipped this one. Didn't realize there were 2 in a row. Okay, whoops. 7 divines for corrupt rare, times 3. And again, this really shouldn't be worth a lot, but I don't know, people have it in their head they need it corrupt and rare. Then we got strongbox reopen with 2 additional strongboxes, even with that terrible roll range, is actually kind of valuable. 4 divines there, and then 4 divines again here. And then we have 8 divines for strongbox, at least rare, plus reopen. Again, roll ranges being low in. All right. 2 strong boxes plus rare here is 4 div. 8 div for rare and reopen. Sorry. I think I forgot to say that. 1 div for strong box rare by itself because it's magic by itself. Double bestiary here, about 2 divines. Double heist, about 6 divines. Again, another one, about 6 divines. These are well-rolled double heist, most valuable heist mods together for blueprints, full of reveals and all that. We got some... It looks like Harvest has actually kind of gone up since I made this list here. Harvest is very good idea to recombinate these 2 mods together. And this is about 10 div here for high roll range. Like these, we got 17 divines here. And then again, 17 divines here. And then moving down, we got 1 div for double harbingers. It's super easy to hit. And I hit it apparently like 10 times in a row. Okay. Then all the way down here, we got 1 div abyss. Again, this one's still not really worth that much for the 5 to 6 modded abyss. Yeah. Probably need 3 modded abyss idols to really be worth anything. But this particular combo here is actually quite valuable. And it's about 6 div. And then we go back to 1 div because it's not 4 pits, it's 3. If you get to 4 pit one, it's actually quite valuable as well. And then back up to a more valuable one. Let's see, what was it again? 6, I think. Yeah, 6 div. And then back down to 1 div for not so valuable. And then double essence roll magic was worth a little bit more, apparently, about 3 div. But otherwise, about 1 div for the remaining 3 double essence. Then double ritual. All right, double ritual with 2 additional favor rerolls is 7 div. With 1 favor reroll is about 5 div. And about 2 div for this one, explicit plus eater. Unfortunately, if it's 34%, it's not worth much. If it's 35, it's actually worth more. I told people to fudge on the roll range for eater. You can save a lot of currency there. But yeah, like if you wanted to try and recombinate the idols I was using for my build, this would be a decent one. I just checked this one on a whim because it was perfect roll range. Timeless jewel by itself. I guess it's like 1 div. Maybe. Not really sure if that one will sell. And we have a couple of scarab, less common varieties isolated here for about 1 div each. The total amount for all of these, again, this is, you know, I'm doing my best to try and figure out. I'm basically just looking at the low or the cheapest one that at least doesn't look like a price fix that's on the trade. And in most cases, is a pretty solid looking market for it. Anyway, the total of my estimate is about 586 divines. And I said that we should probably count on around 80% value because you don't really know if it's going to really be worth that much, or maybe some of them, a couple of them don't actually sell for whatever reason. Puts me around 469 divines for roughly 2 hours of work. Again, not counting, you know, doing all the paperwork for you to make the video. God, it was, honestly, I think as time consuming as everything else. It's a little hard on the carpal tunnel, on the fingers for sure. It's a lot of 3 to 1. A lot of vendoring. Having quad tabs helps a lot. But hopefully you got to see kind of a systemic way that I went about, or systematic way that I went about doing this. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm really hoping this video can bring a lot of value to you guys. Those of you who are just kind of sitting on gold, maybe not sure what to do with it. Maybe still running mappers, thinking that's the best thing to do. Unless you get a mirror from a mapper, probably not. I'd say this is definitely going to earn more currency. I mean, this earned me more currency than any strategy I'm doing in game. Kind of. So because I made like basically the most currency I've made in a while on a strat that definitely push around 100 div per hour. Doing mapping, it's very fun, but this did more than double that with the gold that I had, if I had the gold. So that is what it is. Although, you know, these will, I wouldn't say these are hard to liquidate. It's actually quite easy to liquidate. Still, the idle market's really, really active, even still. But do keep in mind that as we continue getting closer to the eventual 3.26, I guess, or at least PoE 2, second round of that, it definitely, things are going to die down a bit for sure. But yeah, I still think the idle market is one of the most active markets going on right now. And just to remind you, like I did earlier, you don't have to be focusing on Conquer idols. You can do the other ones. I know Totemic is probably pretty good. Those 3x1 idols would be a decent bet as well if you knew what you were doing. But for this video, we're going to finish things off here, and I will give you the whole list of the affixes that I used to do this. You get to see it basically from start to finish without obviously I wanted to skip a lot of that in the middle because it was very time consuming. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments about this, or especially if there's any particular mechanics that are just completely overlooked. I suspect there's something for Ultimatum. Maybe there's something for Legion. Maybe there's something for Alva. I'm not really sure. Please let me know in the comments, and I will add it to the list if I look into it and it seems like you're right, or that it's something that is actually worth putting on there. The high-end potential of it needs to definitely be at least a few divines for like 2 mods together. In fact, myself personally, I probably wouldn't mess with Harbinger or Essence anymore. Those are getting a little bit outdated, dropping in value. But that's how I feel on it personally. Looking forward to more videos coming in the future. I will be going on vacation here kind of soon, actually, but we still got a little bit of farming to do. As in, I'll be going out of town. But for the next 4 or 5 days, I will still be around after posting this video. So, yeah, I'll see you there on Twitch or in the next video, which I think is going to be a doozy. Well, it might actually be the build update video. Still got to do that.